Welcome to Total Wellness, healing for the mind, body, spirit, and soul.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Diamoness, here with none other than the Frank from Feel the Heal. Today, Frank's going to be our guest speaker on our show today, Total Wellness. He's a massage therapist. We're going to answer all the questions that you guys have all been inquiring about, get into not only the different types of massages, but why massages are so actually important for your total wellness, how it contributes to healing the body, relieving stress, and a whole bunch of other things. So we're going to show you how quickly it is to set up. He provides in-home services. I'm here in the Bergen County area, and we're actually setting up in my studio. So whether you have your living room or your kitchen or some open space area, Frank is the guy to call. So we're just going to move a couple things around, and we'll be right back.
Disinfect, very important.
Welcome once again. As you guys see, we are finished with setting up the table. Frank is ready. We're just going to do a little bit of Q&A to begin. And just we're going to ask a couple of questions, and then Frank is just going to demonstrate on me. Of course, I'm going to have my clothing on for the session, but we want to be able to just demonstrate some of the techniques. We're going to focus on neck pain, shoulder pain. A lot of you have issues between the shoulder blades because of posture and things like that, lower back pain, and of course some stretches for the hamstrings. How many of you guys have those tight hamstrings that just ail you from time to time? We're going to go over all of that information, but let's get to know a little bit more about our guest, Frank from Feel the Heal. Welcome, Frank.
Hi. Thank you, Diamoness, for having me. It's a pleasure.
So, how did you become a massage therapist? Like, what made you choose this field to work in?
So, back when I was in my 20s, I was really looking for a new and different career opportunity that would be definitely more fulfilling than what I was doing at the time. I was in sales, and I was willing to branch out to try and find something more fulfilling as a career. And I would get massages really all the time, and my massage therapist would tell me, you should really get into the industry. It's very lucrative, you can make it your own, you can make people feel better, you can make them feel good. So I decided to look into it at 25 years old, and I went down to a school in Hackensack called ITM. It's the Institute of Therapeutic Massage, and they have a number of locations around New Jersey. I went in there for a consultation just to see and look around, and I came out of there very invigorated and excited that I felt like this was something I was ready to do or excited to do. I didn't realize once I got into the classes how intricate it would be and how interested I would be in that, because I never considered myself a good student in actual school and college, and I went to college for 1 year and I said I just wasn't my cup of tea. So being a part of a trade, like a trade school like massage, and learning the skill of massage, like really has benefited me like throughout my life in that sense. So here we are 6.5 years later, and I've worked on thousands and thousands of people, and I've made them feel good. I've reduced their pain, reduced inflammation, and that's the beauty of the profession of massage is to reduce the pain and inflammation and just make people feel good overall, physically and mentally. And this was exactly the rewarding and fulfilling career that I, wanted to be a part of. So.
Wow. So you mentioned inflammation. Can you just share with us what are some of the most common ailments and issues that you've encountered working on some of your clients?
Oh yeah, so there's a number of issues depending on the client. So inflammation is a very, very big part of what I do to reduce that. Inflammation is just basically swelling in either a joint or muscle tissue or anywhere under the skin. And massage really helps to reduce the inflammation by my strokes, moving the new blood around, just getting that muscle tissue more pliable so it can open up and reduce anything that's hitting on the nerve. Because a lot of times when a muscle is inflamed, it hits on the nerve and that causes the pain that we all feel. That's called an impingement on the nerve. So some of my techniques include some effleurage, petrissage, which is these are the massage terms that you learn in school, which are like light strokes and then more of a deeper stroke depending on the client's threshold to really get into the muscle tissue more, just to create space in between the muscle tissue and the nerve, so the nerve is not hitting on things, and that's what makes you go, oh, like, oh my God, my back, because the nerve, the muscle tissue is inflamed, and the nerve hits, and then you get like this big well up of pain, which nobody likes to feel.
So do you know what can cause inflammation in someone's body? Like, I know certain foods we can eat. I've heard, I have to do a little bit more research on this, so I'm going to, have a disclaimer to say I have heard that dairy is actually a huge product.
Sugar.
That can cause inflammation.
Yeah.
So you'd say sugar also?
Yeah, so inflammation is caused by a number of things, and you touched upon it's definitely part of our diet, what we eat. Anything high in saturated fat, high in sodium, high in sugar, and some dairy here and there can really cause inflammation in your joints, especially. Your joints, I see it all the time in joints where joints will be worn away. And what causes really that, if you have a client that has a high sugar diet or a high saturated fat diet, they're most likely overweight or obese, and that extra weight and pressure puts a lot of pressure and inflammation on their joints.
Wow.
So it's really essential that they get on a healthy based diet. Also, inflammation can come from trauma that has happened in your life. Physical trauma, like if you've gotten into an accident.
A car accident.
Yeah, an accident, or if you've had a fall or anything like that, that can cause a number of inflammation in your joints, in your muscle tissue, and the most common is really in your neck, and just from our posture as well.
Yes.
Just the way we sit.
Yes, I'm trying, y'all. That's one of my.
So it's not really our fault. We've evolved as humans not to sit down all the time like this, like in a chair.
This all day.
Yeah. And that's not you. That's just how our lifestyles are. But as we evolved as humans and how we grew up in the evolutionary chain, we weren't made to be sitting as we do. Like if you look at our ancient ancestors, they didn't have the houses and the furniture that we do now, living in
the nice plush couches.
They would lay down on like the grass and the plains, and it was more of a laying or a squatting type of a posture. So, which would keep would keep the spine aligned more.
Yes,
so.
harder surfaces.
Right.
So, not to cut you off, Frank. I'm sorry, but that's why having the right mattress is also very critical. Because how you sleep, there's times I was in a car accident a couple years ago, and I was just waking up with my back just locked. I had to like roll out of bed literally sometimes on the floor. I had the wrong mattress. So your mattress can make a huge difference along with your posture and things like that.
Mattress is a big deal. I know myself, I like more of a firmer mattress. Even though you have to sacrifice comfort here and there. Yeah. Because most people like to just sink down into their mattresses and become
cozy and kind
become like mashed potatoes, and that's no problem there. Like it's good for your mind, comfy-wise, but your body needs a firmness to bring it all. That's what bring it all back. That's why I tell my clients to find a hard surface to lay down on, like a floor or like a wooden floor or anything like that, if you have it, just to realign the spine. A nice hard surface just to lay flat where your spine doesn't sink in. It really will help straighten out the spine like that. Because your spine goes like this. If you see, you know, the spine that the doctors have, it's flexible because of the disc, the jelly-like substance that we have in the back, which is called our discs. It likes to flex. So when your spine is curved like this, it wants to come back. It wants to come back straight like that when you lay down on a flat surface.
Oh, wow.
It takes pressure off of the discs as well.
Wow. So I hope you guys understand why I have invited Frank from Feel the Heal to the show today. There are a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions about massages, about, you know, other different types of therapists. We're going to have a psychologist on one of the next shows, so stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to address that this really is a medical treatment. Like, it has so much medical benefits. A lot of people, when they hear the word massage, or sometimes they hear, you know, how much it costs, and they're like, oh, they just think automatically of spas and resorts, and it's just, oh, just to relax. But this can really heal your body, especially with consistent treatment. So what are some of the health benefits, and how often would you recommend that someone does get a massage, and what are the different types of massages out there that are good?
So, touching on what you said about using massage as a holistic treatment and therapy as medicine, it's the reason why the ancient Chinese and Romans did it for their soldiers. You had the Roman bathhouses, you had the ancient Chinese medicine that they would apply to the muscle tissue to really help their soldiers heal. And there was a reason why they did that, but it's because the healing properties of massage. I know a lot of times, like you were saying, massage is considered a luxury.
Yes, yes. And it is, don't get me wrong, it sure is, but...
But there's different types of massages that you can do. If you want a massage that's just for pure luxury and relaxation, I would just say, just do the normal Swedish massage, which is...
Except for that one.
Yeah, which is just pure relaxation, a lot of effleurage, and she goes right into a different world, which is really my my goal for all of my clients, to really feel restored and rejuvenated, not feel like they got hit by a truck the next day or in pain. But there are different types of massages that you can do. Like if you need a massage done to heal for medicinal purposes, you can do a medical massage where you just focus on that specific area for like 20 or 30 minutes, whether it be your hips or your legs or your feet. If you have something, a condition called plantar fasciitis, which is the bottom of your foot, you can take micro tears in the bottom of the plantar fascia, which is in your foot. You can just do, you know, massage on that for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just that area to help them medically. But I know now a number of insurances are starting slowly but surely to include massage in their medical package. They're not considering massage a luxury anymore, which is great. Which is funny because massage has been around for thousands of years. Then we got away from it because the doctors are like, here, just take this pill and you'll be healed. It really doesn't do that. It masks it. It doesn't get to the root of the problem.
Hold on, can you please repeat that? It just masks it.
Masks it. That's the word.
It doesn't get to the root of the problem. I am not speaking against medication. Please understand what I'm saying right now. But too often we're too quick to just pop a pill.
Yeah.
When there's other things that you can do to heal your body. Medication does have side effects, of course. And if you're a person of faith, then you make sure you lay your hands on that bottle and you pray, Lord, I come against all side effects in the name of Jesus, and you take it with faith. But we're looking at alternative forms of treatment that will really go beneath the surface and heal that tissue, heal those muscles, restore the body to its original state without putting in any products that are not natural, that are not that are more chemically based. There's a lot of things that we can do to heal the body naturally. So I know you guys have those headaches. I know you guys have those pains. I know a lot of you are like, I don't have time to be doing those stretches in the morning, Diamond. But I'm telling you, we're thinking of your long life health, long life recovery. We're thinking down the road. And believe it or not, you end up falling in love with a lot of these routines if you stick to them.
Right.
You know, there's things that you can do. Tai Chi is a beautiful thing to get rid of headaches. There's things that you press, you breathe, you stretch. There's so many different things, and when you actually are willing to at least try it and see how your body takes to it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing is real. This stuff really works. So.
Right, and to follow up on what you said, which was said perfectly, I believe in all of that, the only side effect you'll get from a massage is maybe some minor soreness here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't compare to the side effects you take from a pill. And again, I'm not against pills whatsoever, but again, it doesn't get to the root cause of your actual condition. It just, you know, people in today's world, we're living in an instantaneous world, we want an easy fix, easy, quick fix.
Yeah.
It's easier to just pop a pill and forget about the pain for a while than to actually, like you said, work at it.
Yeah.
Just like your body is a temple.
Yes.
You know, and you need to work at your body. Just like if you want to lose weight, you're not going to lose weight by taking a pill. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to diet. You're going to have to dedicate yourself to a different regimen in life, diet and exercise. It's the same thing with massage and regular treatments. You want to heal your body through massage. Most of the time, one massage is not going to do it. You need consecutive regular treatments to change the muscle tissue. Make the muscle tissue adapt to where you want it to be, because if you don't, the muscle tissue will go back to its regular state that it's been used to for so many years, which is that tight state that you don't want.
Yes. So what are some critical things, just a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get into some of the strokes and the treatments. You see I'm anxious to get on the table, right? But what are some things that people need to do prior to getting a massage and after receiving treatment? I know one of them is BAM!
BAM! That is before and after, I will say. So before a massage, really,
shout out to Poland Spring.
Yes. So I would say really before massage, you really don't have to do much. I would just say, just put yourself into a relaxing state of mind. Prepare your mind for the treatment. Try to, like right before you get the massage, like right when you're on the table, I always preach to my clients, clear your mind. We do some breathing exercises. You know, we do a lot of breathing. Because the combination of the breathing and my movement, you send oxygenated blood to the areas that I'm working on to promote healing of the muscle tissue and dissipation of inflammation. But clear your mind, get all those negative thoughts out of your head, because I have clients all the time who literally can't get those thoughts, or like their head goes to a different place. They're thinking about errands they have to do like in 2 days from now. And I'm saying that just focus, just compartmentalize for a minute. Focus on what I'm doing to your body, because that's how you get the most out of a massage. It's when you can just focus on what I'm doing to you in that very moment. Don't let any other thought, especially negative thoughts, creep into your mind while the treatment is performed. After treatment is a little bit of a different story. Now you can unwind and get your head out. Most of the time your head's now in that state where it stays there. So sometimes a lot of people will feel like they're on cloud 9, or like a lot of people say like,
hallelujah!
Yeah, cloud 9. They feel like their body feels like a wet noodle. Yeah, that's what they said, like a wet noodle. I'm like, that's funny.
And that's the benefit of having the service in your home.
Yeah.
You don't have to hop in your car and drive. You know, shout out to Massage Envy. I'm just shouting out folk today. But I've always had a wonderful experience there. But it really sucks after you get a nice, calm, relaxing massage, and then you hop in your car, you have to drive on the highway, then you're dealing with angry drivers, and they just ruin your mood.
It's so funny that she says that. It's so funny that you say that, Diamond, because my one client, he said the same exact thing to me. He would travel into New York City, and he would come home more stressed out than when he came before he got the massage, because of that drive. So yeah, that's why I love to do house calls, because I can do it in the convenience of your own home. You can stay there before and after the massage, prepare accordingly before, and then afterwards, the two main things I didn't touch upon yet is to drink water and to eat a nice, good meal. And what happens is, while you're on the massage table, I'm moving new blood around, I'm moving lymphatic system around, I'm just moving everything around to flush everything out. So now your body wants to flush everything
It
out.
detoxes.
It detoxes, right.
That's the other one of the other medical benefits, that massages are actual natural form of detoxing, which is why you often have to go to the bathroom afterwards, especially if you're drinking water. That's why they also immediately after you get a massage, they'll hand you a glass of water so that it can just flush all those toxins out of your body.
You want to flush everything out, and your muscle tissue is 80% water, and the other part is mostly amino acids and proteins. So that's why it's very important to have those two things. You have the water you drink, and then eat a nice protein-based meal after the massage session, because I'm manipulating the muscle tissue, working on the muscle tissue throughout the session. You want to help build it back up and heal it. So a nice, you know, balanced meal afterwards, you know, you get your protein, carb, veg, is perfect for a post-treatment meal and drink, for sure.
Yeah, so some things, if I have a late treatment, sometimes I'll just have like yogurt, like a chobani yogurt, because yogurt is a good source of protein.
Yeah, very good.
I'll have my steamed vegetables, some broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. I'll make a cup of tea. I'll have my water. And sometimes like cranberries are good for your red blood cells, building your body back up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Things like that, you know. But if you have an earlier treatment, then you can eat something more filling. But you know, so you just have to learn what works for you and for your body. That's just what I do. You can try it, see if it works for you. Fish is also really good.
Oh yeah, fish is great.
Salmon especially, that's why it's so expensive, because it tastes so good and it's so good for your body.
It's great protein. It's great protein.
It's really great. And it's light, so you don't feel heavy and boggled down. You know?
Exactly.
So,
better than a cheeseburger, for sure.
Oh my gosh. And then after, you just hop in bed. Netflix and chill. So I'm going to have another sip of water. Is there anything else you want to share before we start?
Well, I was going to say, you may not even get to the Netflix after the treatment, because you're just going to go, some people just go out cold, sleep-wise after, because they're so relaxed, their muscles needed that release. And like we were touching upon too, massage is not just a physical release for your muscle tissue, but it's a mental release for your mind. It's a combination of both. I sometimes, now that I've been doing this for 6.5 years, have become not just a massage therapist for people, but they're actual therapists. Some of them want to just talk and let things out. It's just like,
guilty.
You know. And I encourage that. I know some therapists, they just want pure silence, and they want to work on that, and I respect that too. But whatever my client feels comfortable doing with me, they want to let their feelings out, that's fine, because I know that they're getting not just a mental release, but a physical release too.
Which goes hand in hand.
Goes hand in hand, exactly.
And sometimes if this is your first time receiving a massage, some people are funny with touch sometimes. Right. Or, you know, they have to get to know someone before they can fully relax. Sometimes the mind just gets in the way too much. Which is also why you're recommending having like nice soothing music. Yes. Candles, scented candles, aromatherapy. What are those fragrances that you use? He has this towel, you guys.
Scented towel.
Oh my gosh, the scented towels. It smells so incredible. And I'm telling you, as soon as Frank goes like this, I'm like, what is in the towels, Frank? What is in the towels?
There is like a stigma around scents, right? Scent is, they say smell is the strongest scent tied to memory. Like if you smell like an old perfume you used to wear, it'll bring you right back to like say high school. I know I do that. I still sometimes have the same colognes from high school. I smell it and boom, it brings me right back to sophomore year in science class, right? But scents are so influential in either boosting us up or relaxing us. So depending on the client and depending on the time of day I do the massage, like with Diamoness here, I use a blend of relaxing blends because we typically do our sessions at night. And I tell my clients who have the night sessions that I use the same blend on them too. It's just called a relaxed blend that has lavender in there, clary sage, and ylang ylang, which are 3 main relaxing aromatherapy scents that I infuse in a towel. I take the towel and I kind of just brush it like this over their face so they can really inhale the scent, really deep breaths into your nose, and I just put it over their eyes, and it's close enough to their nose over their eyes where they can just continue to breathe in those beautiful relaxing scents. And I tell them I use these relaxing blend scents at night because it's more of a wind down, calming scent to get you prepared for bed, to get you prepared for the restoration that you're going to have while you're sleeping, because that's how your body heals, right?
Yes.
While you sleep. But while I'm doing treatments that are during the day, like in the afternoon or morning, I use eucalyptus a lot.
Oh,
and I infuse the towels with eucalyptus because it's more of an uplifting, ready to go. It's nice, beautiful, like pepperminty eucalyptus scent that really boosts your mood. It clears your head and sinuses. It gives you like this little nice boost to really help you take on the day. I wouldn't want to use your relaxing blend during the day if they have things that they have to do, if they have things going on, because they're going to feel sluggish. And scents do that. You know, me and my fiance, we sleep with a lavender infuser, and it puts both of us right out. So I literally practice what I preach too. So that's the beauty of scents and how influential they can be on our daily lives, for sure.
Wow. And the more you receive the treatment, the more relaxed you will get after each session, to the point where it's just like, now Frank just comes in and I'm like, let's go! So it's important to find the right therapist. It's important to find a person that you feel safe with, that you trust, that you feel comfortable with, that your energies, you know, are in sync. So if you happen to have, you know, a negative experience, don't let that be the end of all. Just that person didn't work for you. Try someone else. If you go and get your hair done and you get a bad haircut, do you just say, oh, I'm never going to get another haircut the rest of my life? No, you just say, I'm not going to use that barber. I'm not going to use that stylist. And you keep on searching, and the day will come where you're like, oh my gosh, I love you. You're my stylist for life. So that's how I feel about Frank.
Appreciate you.
I'm willing to share, so I'm sharing him with you.
Thank you.
Really quick before we begin, just to share how we met, I was in a car accident, like I said, and I was in so much pain one Friday leaving work. So much pain that I couldn't even get in my car. I was literally like an old lady trying to get in and trying to get out, and halfway in tears, and I was like, God, I do not want to spend my Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night feeling like this, because my appointment with my chiropractor wasn't until Monday. So I decided to do a search. I prayed, of course, Lord, let me find the right person. I knew I needed an in-home service therapist, because like I said, I did not want to drive and I was just in too much pain. So I found Frank on Thumbtack. And what was incredible about Thumbtack, shout out to Thumbtack, is that you get to see his whole profile. You get to see how many people has used his services. You get some background on what he specializes in. You get to read the comments from real life people who've posted comments about their experiences. They do background checks. They make sure that you are actually licensed and certified to do the massage therapy, and you get to actually chat online before you book the appointment. So, you know, I took a risk, I took a leap of faith, and I'm so glad that I did, y'all. Because now Frank be coming once a week.
Yeah, take a leap of faith sometimes.
Yes. So, yeah, you know, you got to put your foot in the water sometimes, you know. So it just worked out so perfectly, and everything was just awesome from the very first session. So how can people find you before we get into demonstration?
So you can contact me through my email, which is frankieg489@gmail.com. That's Frankie, Frankieg 489@gmail.com. Or you can look up my Thumbtack profile, which is Feel the Heal on Thumbtack. I specialize in everything that has to do with massage, which is, you know, sports massage, ranging from heated salt stones to medical massage, foot reflexology, prenatal as well, the regular Swedish, deep tissue, and more. And I work in a variety of areas around the tri-state area, which is New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. So you can find me on there. Thumbtack is great. It's an awesome, user-friendly app. That's a service provider. Yeah, it was easy.
So easy. Yeah.
So you just look for my name again, Feel the Heal, or if you want to reach out to me directly, it'd be my email, frankieg489@gmail.com. And I'm very responsive, so.
And he's always on time. I'm always the late one.
My dad told me well, punctual.
He is so punctual.
You're either early or late. There's no on time. It's either early or late.
And of course, you see, he's just beautiful personality. He's very professional. He's very much of a gentleman. So very easy to just feel relaxed and feel safe in the comfort of your own home. So especially those who are more private, like, this is my studio, this is my life, this is my baby, and the only people that I really have here, of course, are my clients. So, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to have, someone new coming in, but he made it so easy, and it was just wonderful. So, shout out to Frank. Find him on Thumbtack, email him. Like he said, he is servicing the Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York area, and you won't regret it. So, I'm going to stop talking, and it's time for me to hop on this table, y'all.
So, welcome back. I'm Frank from Feel the Heal, and we have Diamoness on the table, and I'm going to be showing you various massage strokes that benefit her, that are in accordance with her treatment. So the first thing to do is, you're lying flat here with the feet. You want to bolster their feet so they're not touching the table. It kind of gives something called dorsiflexion, where it's a little uncomfortable with the toes touching on the table. So with Diamoness here, I like to do a slow rocking first, which really brings the muscle tissue more up to the surface for me to work on, and just to see where her alignment is this week. So now I'm doing just pressure with my palms onto the PSIS of her back, which is the posterior iliac crest, which is something, if you ever see back dimples on people, that's exactly where I'm pushing down here. But that's where a lot of source and pain and inflammation come from, really in this area, the top of the glute into the PSIS, and then straight into the lower back, where really the psoas is. That's a type of muscle that's buried deep in the lower back too. Now I'm moving up her back into the traps, which this really is the main area of tension for all of us, is the upper trap and neck area. Now, what not a lot of people realize is that there are a number of muscles that are in this area. It's not just traps, and the trap is the largest one, the most superficial one, which superficial means it's the closest to the surface of the skin. So a lot of times the trapezius gets impinged because of how big it is and how close to the surface it is, and how we shrug like this. That's how our trap gets inflamed and impinged. What I'm doing now is just some gentle kneading, squeezing action on her trap, and also just rolling over her connective tissue here with the rhomboids, which are deeper in her upper back, which are below the trapezius. And that's where a lot of people get knots. Those pesky knots, or what we call in the massage world trigger points, are in really where the rhomboids are. And the rhomboids are a type of muscle which are below the traps that connect right to your scapula, or what we call shoulder blades. So I am feeling a little bit of tension and some trigger points in this area, which are caused from daily life, daily stresses, our posture, how we sit, how we drive, just how really we evolved to just sit and lay. But these can be corrected with various treatments over time. So I'll do that for the following side too, but I just want to show you this side so I'm facing the camera. Just rolling over her back with my palm just to feel any more tension and tightness. And if so, I would address this with something called circular kneading, which is like this. Taking just the tips of my fingers and just going over her muscle tissue in a circular pattern, pushing relatively deep to really break open the muscle tissue, which are really just a collection of fibers that you want to just break up. I compare it to really like a weave basket, like the weave in a basket, that's your muscle fibers, and what you do with the basket, you want to go like this. What happens is the fibers kind of break loose, right, in the weave. It's exactly what I'm doing in massage. Exactly what I'm doing to the muscle tissue. I'm breaking up the weave and the muscle fibers to give it more space to breathe, to allow the new blood to flow to that area to promote healing. And that's why a lot of times you get this nice warm sensation. That's through my hands and the blood working and traveling to those areas to help promote healing. Now if we move on now, Diamoness was complaining of some lower back pain that was caused right over here. So a number of times a lot of lower back pain is caused from tight glutes, which is your butt, and tight hamstrings, which are below the butt, and they start right here. So what I do is this kneading here with my fists on the side of the glute, because what happens is the muscle fibers of the glute run this way horizontally and they connect into the hip area, which as you see is right here. They connect here. So when I roll over this way with my fists, I'm hitting something called the insertion point, origin or insertion point of all the glute muscles. There's a glute maximus, which there's a reason why it's called maximus, because it's the largest glute muscle we have. Glute medius as well, which is more on the top here of the glute, which I would use oil here to really do more of something called of deep strokes here with my thumb. It's more of a deep tissue technique to really, if you see here, go like this, to really open up that muscle tissue, because this is the most common one that gets compressed, the glute medius, when we sit a lot for work or just our general posture throughout the day. So I want to open up those hips as well, because lower back pain is called from tight hips, tight glutes, and tight hamstrings. So as we come down here into the hamstrings, before I address the hamstrings, I like to address the hips, is what I mentioned. So this is what Diamoness was talking about before in our video when I was getting interviewed about the different types of massage. So with her, I do a combination of a deep tissue, Swedish, and a sports massage. Because a lot of times sports massage is very beneficial because you're using active movements as opposed to with the muscle tissue, as I'm about to show you, as opposed to Swedish massage, which is just more of gentle effleurage and petrissage strokes, which I will show you when I'm done demonstrating this sports massage move. So what I'm doing here is I have her foot, which is 90 degrees, her foot into her calf and tibia, which is 90 degrees. So this loosens the hamstring. The hamstring is not in flexion now, it's not tight. So I take my fist here or my thumb and I just try to find the area right here. I find the area in her hip where this moves. So I'm going to feel a gentle upward push into my fingers or thumb or my fist. And what that does is that it's massaging the glute medius and glute maximus from the inside by me pressing down. So while I'm massaging it from the outside, this active movement, and this active movement, by the way, is called internal rotation, which is here, and then external rotation, which is here. So I'm internally and externally rotating her hip. This is massaging the glute from the inside as I'm massaging it from the outside. It's a beautiful thing. So this technique in the sports massage world is called a pin and stretch. Remember that. Pin and stretch. And you can do this with every muscle on the body, a pin and stretch. A lot of times these active movement massage techniques are very beneficial for athletes or who have tightness in their lower back, glutes, and hips. When I do this on my clients, they've never felt it before, and then at first it can kind of feel like, oh, that's weird, but then all of a sudden when I'm done, they feel like this release in this area. It's because of the internal massage and the external massage that I'm doing and what the hip is actively doing to help reduce that tightness in this area. And you can see as I work on, I can go further than when I started. The range of motion starts to really become apparent as I work on here. And I've had so much experience that I can feel the muscle tissue really loosen up underneath my hands as I'm working on there. That's how I know the massage is working. So at the beginning of the treatment, I'll feel the traps and it's hard for me to grab onto them. At the end of the treatment, I can grab onto them really nicely. And that's how I know their body needed that as much as I wanted to help them with it. So this is just a nice sports massage technique. Really opens up the hip. And you know, a lot of times our hips are neglected. We don't really treat our hips as much as we should, as opposed to just treating the glutes and the hamstrings. So now that's a demonstration of the pin and stretch. So I want to show you effleurage and petrissage, which is the two main massage strokes in massage therapy. Often used 90% of the time in the Swedish massage. Effleurage is like this. Come down. Effleurage strokes. You need to do it with your forearm as well. Down. I come around. This feels good in the lower back. I turn. Come up. Down. Or up. Typically like to do up because the up stroke is going towards the heart. You want to send that new blood towards the heart, not away from it. That. And petrissage is just this. More of a faster stroke, side to side. It's kind of like a side to side kneading, but this is petrissage. And you finish up with an effleurage like this as well. Okay. Hamstrings, we're going to go back to hamstrings. So the hamstrings here, I like to do a lot of things with the hamstrings, especially if they're really tight, depending on the client's threshold. It's very important. You always want to check in with the client to make sure they can handle the pressure that goes along with some of the massage. If they're uncomfortable with it, I like to ease off a little bit. I know some massage therapists, they'll say, no, you need it, you're going to get it, and the client is often feeling like they got hit by a truck and very sore the next day. It is not uncommon to feel a little bit of soreness the next day. That's good. That means your body is in the process of healing. But with me, and every massage therapist is different, I want my client to feel restored and rejuvenated. That's my goal as a therapist and a goal for Feel the Heal. That's why I named my company and myself Feel the Heal, because I literally want them to feel the heal. I want them to feel the restoration and rejuvenation that comes along with my treatments. So this is also, I want to show you another form of a sports massage technique called the pin and stretch. Taking my thumb, pressing it into the hamstring as I drop down. Now I'll do this with oil. As I drop down, this active movement with the hamstring really helps open up the hamstring as well, because I'm pinning the muscle down and I'm letting it lengthen. What we do in life is when we bend down, we bend over to pick up things, or we're at the gym, we're doing legs, we're shortening the muscle, in turn tightening the muscle. Usually I'll do this with oil, and my thumb will slide up the hamstring because of how tight most hamstrings are. It'll slide up. The client is not making my thumb slide up. Just from this movement here, the lengthening of the hamstring, which is a bulky muscle, there's 3 muscles involved in the hamstring, this makes it slide up. And as I slide up the hamstring, you have to really go all the way up, even right under the butt. It goes all the way up to here. Now do that maybe 2 or 3 times. It's called another pin and stretch on the hamstring. Hamstring as well. I'll do some effleurage strokes, some deep depending on the client's threshold. Like that, up the leg. Really go like this in my fingers, in, do some kneading here. What I typically like to do, which a lot of my clients, they say it kind of feels a little weird, but it's just more of something called a cross fiber friction, where the hamstring fibers run this way vertically. I like it to come here and come across and go in like that. For people who have really, really tight hamstrings and want their lower body, say if they're cyclists and runners, this is what they love here. So I'll mainly focus on my clients who are cyclists and runners on the lower body, which are the calves, the feet, the hamstrings, the hips, the glutes. Call that a lower body bliss. Like this. I rhymed. There you go. Like that. And I'm not going too deep on Diamoness because I know her pain threshold, but sometimes I'll go deep and really get into the fibers and come across them. Like I said, like that weave basket, break them up. Okay. So I'm going to go back up to the neck and shoulders. So as I feel around here, I like to use a lot of times my fingers and thumbs in this area, and sometimes my fists. I like to come in and do something called circular rotation with my fist into their traps while I'm like this here. Coming from their neck down into their trap, because it's all connected. Your trap muscle goes from here, it's kind of like a kite, if you can see. It comes down to here, fans out like this, and comes up all the way up the neck. And sometimes, depending on the pain threshold, I'll just take my two fingers here, kind of like gentle circular motion massage, circular kneading it's called, clockwise and counterclockwise, on the different side points of the neck to really help open up that neck tension, because there's a lot of things going on in the neck with the muscles back there. The scalenes, the levator scapula, all that is very, very, very tight on most people, so you want to open those up. I'll come around here, I'll do a double circular kneading on the traps, and I'll come this way with my fingers up the traps into the neck here with oil, and just press on those pressure points in the neck for it to release. What we're doing is we're trying to really adjust the body to its new form. And that new form through massage is what I'm trying to do. And you press there, it's kind of just resetting. Those pressure points are kind of like reset buttons on the body. You just want to reset everything that's gone on traumatically in those areas, or just areas of tension. You just want to kind of hit the reset button, or I say, just kind of want to hit the reset points. These pressure points that I'm addressing, which are, there's some in the hand, there's some in the feet, there's some in the neck here. You just want to kind of bring it back to its normal state. You may want to turn over onto your back if that's okay. That was nothing.
This is amazing, you guys. I'm telling you, I feel so relaxed, so calm, and this is like just a sample treatment. Like, so imagine the full real deal service. So if I'm talking in slow motion, it's just because I'm having my cloud 9 moment. So we're just going to show you one more thing with the hands, one of my favorite things that Frank does. If you want to explain that a little bit with the massage treatment with the hand.
Right, right. So like Diamoness was saying, to get the most out of the treatment, you need to clear everything that's in your brain, in your mind, any negative thought, any thought, honestly, that you have, and just focus on what I'm doing. And a lot of breathing. Breathing is so, so important. When you breathe, it's just that connection of the feeling and the motion, and just sending that oxygenated blood to the areas to help them heal. But usually what I do is I have now my client, which you saw, she was prone, which basically is the medical term for being on your stomach. Now she's supine, which is the medical term for being on your back. And what I typically do with the hand is I like to do some long stroke kneading first, which I come here and I just kind of pull like this with the oil. The oil gives it a nice glide, and just start to pull on these muscles here. So I'm hitting these meridian points actually in the hand, which is the hand valley point, which is in here. The meridian points, you know, are heart 7, and you have the outer gate, the inner gate pressure points, but I'm really focusing on the hand. I like to do, and this is my custom way of doing it. Other massage therapists obviously have their own way, but I like to pull some nice pressure, like here. I'm just kind of fanning out with my hands like this on hers, using the bulk of my muscle in my hands to really go over, you know, the carpals in your hand as well, which really need work for anyone, because you know a lot of times and a lot of ailments when you get older, one of the common ailments when you get older is carpal tunnel syndrome. So massage is actually great for preventing carpal tunnel syndrome, because you want to create some space and new blood flow in between the carpals so it doesn't tighten up over the years.
Yeah, so those of you like myself who are, you know, secretaries, do clerical work, or you're on the computer a lot and you're always typing, this is really excellent for that. Circulation, your blood circulation is so important, and you feel it. You really do feel, if you're able to really you know, control your mind and just release all that stress from your mind and really enjoy the moment, you really do feel incredible after just one treatment. Frank had me touching my toes after the first day, and you guys see me walking around and super energetic. You know, after just 2 treatments, I felt, you know, like, oh my God, this is amazing, and it just gave me so much hope. Especially, you know, with the summer coming up, we're going to start shooting, you know, the music videos and everything again. So, you know, after day 1, I was like, oh my gosh, life-changing. And after day 2, I was like, oh my gosh, I can start to see my life getting normal again, you know, the way it was before the accident. So I'm speaking from my own personal experience. It's one of the things about this show that I do promise to all of you. I am only bringing people on this show that have impacted my life significantly, because I want to be able to share that with all of you. So, you know, that's what total wellness is about. It's about the entire well-being of the human body. Your mind, we have to take care of our mind, we have to take care of our body, we have to take care of our spirit, and we have to take care of our soul. So that's what you're going to be seeing on the episodes. Different people coming in with different expertises in different areas to help you to just feel whole again, to just restore you, to rejuvenate you, to put that life back into your body. You know, stress is like one of the #1 killers. You know, stress affects your back. A lot of people have back injuries and back problems and tensions and knots because of stress. You know, I believe anxiety, we'll talk about that when I have Dr. Eckhart on the show. Anxiety and depression are like the top 2 diagnosed mental illnesses in the United States. And it really does physically affect you. So,
Absolutely.
Besides this feeling absolutely incredible, it really is healing for your entire body. So, I'm going to let Frank give his last words and just say thank you guys for watching. Find him on Thumbtack, email him. I'm going to have all of his information posted below. And I'm telling you, it is just, it's amazing, it's incredible, and it really can change your life. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope this show has really blessed you today. I hope you learned tremendous amount of information, and I hope that you'll give it a try.
Well, I want to thank Diamoness so much for having me on. I do want to mention to the viewers out there, which I tell a lot of my clients, and this is probably one of my best forms of advice, which when we get stressed out, we have a fight or flight response that happens, and our adrenal gland gets fired. So what happens is, what we don't notice is that our traps, our trapezius muscles, they start to raise up like this when we're stressed. They start to raise like this, and we don't realize that when you do a slight shrug, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but if I do that, I'm in a shrug and I don't even notice it. what happens is when we get stressed out with our fight or flight response, we do this, just how a cat, when they get like scared or anxious, they arch with their behind. We do the same thing. So what I tell my clients is throughout the day, if you're feeling stressed out, take a deep breath like this and watch your shoulders drop just like that. And it's not from you breathing in. Your shoulders were in such a state where that's where a lot of the tension and stress that comes from being in our neck and shoulders comes from this slight shrug that we do every day and we don't realize it. So be cognizant, my viewers out there, of feeling stressed. And if you're stressed, take 5 seconds, close your eyes and just go, and see if your shoulders drop. And if they drop, that means you were in a stressed out state. And think about how many times you were in that state, and now you know why you have neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, trigger points, and knots in the back of your neck or back in the upper back where they're the most common. I really do feel that it's from that fight or flight response that we endure or we experience on a daily basis. So, and I've told my clients about that, and they've seen the benefits of just that deep breath, because breathing is a very, very underutilized way of relieving stress, which is something that you can do on your own. So take that moment throughout the day, 5 seconds, step away from your computer or step away from the office, go outside in the hallway or the bathroom, just shake it out and just drop your shoulders. And then you know that you are now in a relaxed state. And that's the best advice I can give every one of my clients, for all of you watching, something that you can do on your own to help benefit yourself and to reduce stress and to reduce that inflammation and knots and pain in your back. And I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and thank you so much, Diamoness, for the most kind words anyone can say.
That's all true.
So kind, so grateful, and I'm blessed that we met, and I'm happy that you can have me on.
Yes. So thank you guys once again for watching, and thank you once again, Frank, for coming
Thank you.
On the show today. And stay tuned. I have a lot more for you. And don't forget to drink that water. Drink your water.
A gallon a day keeps the doctor away.
Thank you guys so much. We love you.
Thank you.